Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Will on Safety. Today, we're going to take a look at how to best protect yourself in this current hot weather and when you're working in hot conditions. What I'm going to do in this video is give you 10 top tips to protect yourself and to aid your working in hot weather and hot conditions. Tip number one then. Wear light coloured clothing and light weighted clothing. Okay. If you don't have to wear specific uniform or protective gear for your job, try and wear light coloured clothing in shades like white, light greys, and any other sort of pastel colours over navies and blacks. It's because darker clothing absorbs more heat. Light coloured clothing can help you stay cooler for longer. If you do have to wear a uniform, if you have to wear PPE, speak to your employer, because sometimes, and in a lot of industries especially, they may well have lighter versions of personal protective equipment or uniforms for you to be able to wear. So if you do have to wear a uniform and it is baking hot outside like it has been the last couple of weeks, speak to your employer. They could well have something that you'll be able to wear that's a little bit lighter. Tip number two then, drink plenty of water before and during work. Okay, so make sure you drink plenty of water before you start your working day. That enables you to stay hydrated, to acclimatise to the heat. Okay, so you need a good baseline of being hydrated before you start work, which obviously is then going to help you stay hydrated throughout the day. You also need to make sure you drink enough water whilst you're working, okay? And when it is super hot, you need to remember you need to be drinking more than you think you should. And I'm not talking here about, every 2 or 3 hours cracking on and drinking 2-3 litres of water. That's not the best way to get water into the body. So you've probably all heard of you should be drinking water little and often. So little and often throughout the day, that will ensure you keep hydrated. So that's tip number two. That's a good tip. If you remember any of these, remember that one. Tip number three then, shorten work times and take frequent breaks. Obviously, as the sun's out for longer and it's a lot hotter, especially during the summer months, okay, we might have a few heat waves, touch wood, here in the UK. If we do, there may be a necessity to, talk to your employer about shortening work times or having more frequent breaks. All right, shortening them and interspersing them with breaks can help you conserve your energy. It, gives you a bit of a break to allow you to rehydrate, start getting that water into your body little and often, and cool down before continuing work. A simple example would be if you're in a roofing company, there isn't any shade or anything, so you might just limit your activities to 30 minutes and then have a 10-minute break so people can get in the shade or get into an air-conditioned break room. Okay, tip number 4, apply sunscreen throughout the day. It goes without saying, and we are useless at this, especially in the UK, right? You need to be applying that sun cream throughout the day. You don't have to have it all over your body. Obviously, most of your body at work is going to be covered. But for those exposed areas of skin, face, neck, hands, maybe your arms might be exposed if you're in t-shirts, etc. Start applying that sunscreen and keep applying it throughout the day. Tip number 5, wear a protective hat to prevent direct sun exposure. It also benefits from enabling you to see a little bit better. You're not going to be blinded by the sun. So the old floppy design hats are great because they cast a bit of shade over your neck and shoulders. All right, but if you can't get hold of those, something like a cap also does a pretty good job as well. Tip number 6 then, stay in shaded or partially shaded areas as much as possible. Yeah, some types of workers, you're just not going to be able to do this, such as roofers, for example. If you're working on a roof, unless you've got shade from another building, you're going to be exposed to the sun all day. But if you're not in one of those trades or one of those jobs, try and stay shaded or in partially shaded areas as much as you can. When working in the heat, it's important you try and limit the amount of time you're in the sun as much as you can. You can do that by setting up work tents or umbrellas, or stand in the shade of trees or buildings during your work breaks. Tip number 7 then, refrain from drinking fluids other than water. All right, there's loads of different drinks out there, teas, coffees, carbonated drinks such as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all that type of good stuff. But try and just drink water. And the reason we say that is because things like teas, coffees, some energy drinks, for example, what they are is diuretics. What that means to you is that's going to make you go to the toilet a lot more. You're then evacuating fluid from your body. You're going to have to replace that fluid. As you're doing that, it also causes you to dehydrate. And water's also a lot better at replacing lost sweat. Sweat production's important during working in hot weather, because your sweat, it creates a bit of fluid on your body as breezes and stuff sort of hit the body, and that fluid, it cools you. And that in turn helps you maintain an average body temperature. So only drink water if you can. Tip number 8, use a cooling cloth or sort of neck chief or anything else. You can get these, and there's loads of these available online. Ask your employer as well to just let them know about these different types of products, because maybe they'll purchase it for you and the team for in exceptionally hot working conditions. A cool washcloth, ice pack, cooling cloth on the back of your neck will help you maintain body temperature and give you some positive relief when working outside in super hot weather. Tip number 9, eat smaller portions of food throughout the day instead of a large lunch. All right, when working in hot conditions, it's helpful to eat light but frequently to ensure you maintain your energy levels. And it's also going to stop you from getting that discomfort when you've had a really good feed. I don't know about you, but after I've had a good feed, I'm often, sat in my chair like this. Oh, I've got stomach ache. If you eat sort of light, you're just not going to have that. So your energy levels, you're going to be able to maintain those. You're going to be able to crack on with your work without too much discomfort in the stomach area. And lastly, but not leastly, number 10, understand the signs of heat-related illness. This one is super, super, super important. If you remember the 2 things from this talk today, you need to remember understanding the signs of heat-related illness and, keeping hydrated. So understanding signs of heat-related illness then. When working in the heat, it's important you understand the signs of heat-related illness in both yourself and your work colleagues and others around you. If you do that, you can then take action to prevent more serious illness. It comes on, it's a bit of a staged process, heat-related illnesses. So if you can spot the early warning signs, you can get into shade, you can get more hydrated, you can start bringing your core body temperature down. Okay, so symptoms of heat exhaustion include muscle cramps, flushed face, feelings of fatigue, dizziness, or over sweating. You've probably all felt some of this at some times. I myself have felt, dizzy, and I've gone really cold and clammy skin and still sweating. Okay, that's an early sign. In contrast, signs of heat stroke, and this is the more serious one, okay, and it's the next phase to heat exhaustion. It includes little to no sweating, so your body stops sweating, all right, or it's very, very minimal. You might well have a rapid pulse, confusion, inability to speak, so maybe you're slurring your words a bit, and above average body temperatures. If you have any of those signs, you need to get inside, start cooling off, start hydrating, get some cool stuff on your body, and bring that sort of internal body temperature right down. So that's it for the top 10 tips to work safely in hot conditions. We are coming into the summer now. You know, we are getting some pretty hot conditions here in the UK. If you work in Europe or the rest of the world, you know, you work in hot conditions a lot more than we do. But it's super important you take heed of these top 10 tips. I hope you have found this video helpful. If you have and you haven't already subscribed, please, 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 before you do anything else, hit that subscription button now. Give me a like, hit that notification bell. That'll just notify you whenever I post any new content. I'm trying to post at least 2 videos a week on this. So yeah, please support the channel, help us grow, help, you know, the Will on Safety community grow. If you do want me to discuss any other sort of health and safety subjects, leave me a comment below. If you like these videos, if you've got any comments, if you've got any other tips on this video specifically, again, leave me a comment below. I reply to all the comments. I do like getting feedback. So yeah, please engage with me. That's what this channel is all about. But until next time, folks, remember, be safe by choice, not by chance. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.